Remaining today's docket 21-37916, the state of Texas versus Lynn LaSalle. You're Mr. LaSalle. Come on. All right. The defendant is present with his attorney, Mr. Burbank, and the state's attorney. Earlier in this case, the defendant entered a plea of guilty in this case. A pre-sentence report was prepared. Have the parties had an opportunity to review it? And are there any corrections or changes to it? State?
Nothing state.
And if
Nothing.
then it's made a part of the record for all purposes. The agreement in this case is that whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 5 years in prison. So I guess we're looking at no less than 2 nor more than 5 years in prison. I guess deferred or unadjudicated probation is an option. Regular probation, I guess, is an option. Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, we were here before. We took a recess in reference to some issues. You wanted us to take a look at it. In between that time,
This is some letter of
This is from his new employer, Judge. Since the last court date, and he has been hired on as a department head, supervisor at Turbo, whatever, over in Houston. And that's to show that
turbine pump.
right on that. Also, Your Honor, I have been in touch with the complainant, and I know what the video shows. It shows that they got into something that he shouldn't have not done. He does have a past, I think, that had come up before in front of you in reference to other instances.
I see a criminal
incidents.
mischief.
Right. And then, well, there was also some family matters that were discussed before. He still has a young child. He's the primary caregiver over in Houston for, she's minor. And it does involve the child and the mother. I think he probably just took the wrong course of action with mom. But he has had continuous, though she says, and I'll be very frank with the judge, she says, well, he's not letting me see her, but he is living over in Houston. I believe she's over here in Beaumont, or in this area of Jefferson County area. But this all started over the care and condition of the child, and that he felt that she was not being taken care of properly.
Who?
The child was not being taken care of properly by mom. There again, I think he took the wrong steps. I think he admitted that he does have a history of kind of taking the wrong steps, and because it's right there in the PSI report that the state and you pointed out the last time we were here. I'd only asked for some consideration in reference that he needs to be corrected and punished. If he goes to TDC, there are more people than him that are going to be hurt, and specifically is the daughter or the child. He does have some other family members that, like today, are taking care of her. But he is the primary and has been taking care of the child. You do have the power of deferred and to review every couple of months or every 6 months or so, or weekends. He is over in Houston, so you have to drive back here to Jefferson County. And then I think we did talk about shock probation, Judge. And it's my understanding, for the record, that because he has a prior state jail felony, but he would still be eligible for shock probation. Is that your understanding, Mike?
Yes, sir.
But I would just ask that you take it all in consideration. You know, he did what he did, and there's no getting around that. So if you have any questions of Mr. LaSalle, then I'd be more than happy to answer them, Judge. But I'll represent to the court after the last court hearing. I called mom at least once, maybe twice, and it wasn't what he did. It was, how am I going to get access to my daughter? That was the whole crux of it. And after advising her, and I will tell you that, well, maybe you should get an attorney or somebody to go on out and get a family court order, which they don't have. Maybe it would kind of correct some of this stuff. And I think it went through one ear and out the other. So
the elephant in the room here. A couple of elephants are in the room here.
I wasn't going to punch my ticket on that one, Judge.
This isn't the first assault on this lady. No. You pleaded guilty, I presume, but you were convicted, placed on regular probation in 2019 for, let's see, assaulting Jacqueline Frank. The same complainant here. Let's see, by scratching her face with your hands, and at the time there was a family member. And I'm looking here that the probable cause affidavit was again, let's see, it was communicating with the defendant, leaving work, advising him she was coming to get her daughter. LaSalle kept telling her he was bringing her, found LaSalle in the parking garage of the hospital. LaSalle appeared intoxicated, used his right arm to wrap around her neck and telling her to shut up. Then let her go. She attempted to grab her child. He began to claw at her face and eyes, kept swinging at her with his fists, but missed due to his intoxication. The complainant had a large bleeding scratch on her right lower arm and also multiple red marks and slight bruising on her face and neck. Her mouth was bleeding from a scratch on the inside, but wasn't aware where the blood was coming from. Okay, so a big deal was made about this. You come into court with a bunch of strangers who now enter into your personal lives because you aren't acting responsible and peaceful. Are you married to this lady?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well,
and if
sometimes
for one thing, and when all this happens, which has happened several times, this is what was presented. This is from her, and here, that's a mistake. I don't understand why.
Well,
because
we all know what happens is, and it happens in this kind of relationship, and it never happens from the male's point. It's always the woman, but the woman's kind of stuck in a situation. I sympathize with them. I've been in a relationship for 40 plus years, and you have good times, bad times, great times, actually. But in difficult times, it's worked out responsibly. I don't go scratching and punching and threatening. And some of these people are put in an environment, they're victimized to where they really don't have, that they want a relationship that's peaceful. But you make this a living hell for this poor lady. So we made a big deal about it. You were put on probation. And here you are. Let's see. Didn't take very long. You were placed on probation for a year in 2019. So I guess you were released in 2020. So let's jump ahead to June of 21, a year later. Opens her vehicle, grasped her by the throat with both hands, throws her keys on the ground, grasps her by the hair, drags her, causing her to scrape her arms and legs. Well, that almost seems familiar. Held her down in the parking lot by applying pressure to the back of her head, causing injury to her face. Hold on, though. Where's the child during this? Right there at the scene? I'm sorry. Let's see. Beating the truck and shouting at their daughter.
My daughter was.
No, I'm sorry. This says Lau came to her home on Harding Drive, began beating on her truck window and shouting at their daughter. He then followed her to the Conoco, located at East Lucas Drive, reached in the window of her vehicle and grabbed her by the hair. No, I don't. When I'm through, Mr. Bully, you can speak. I tell you, guys who beat up women and girls, pick on girls, they tend not to pick on guys, but you push around girls. I don't like that. That's you interrupted me again. You're a bully. You like to have it dominating your way. But in here, we have the rules. You'll get a chance to speak, Mr. Bully. But you've struck my sensitivity. First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me if I don't hold you accountable. Well, you don't bully people, especially people you claim you love, who are women. And I don't see in your criminal history picking on guys. Isn't that interesting? I see a possession of marijuana, possession of controlled substance, driving while intoxicated. That was above 0.15. You have no self-discipline. You don't have self-discipline at all. There's the assault, disorderly conduct, failure to appear, 4 public intoxications. And here we are. Criminal mischief. You were placed on 2 years deferred or unadjudicated. Pull that up, please. That felony. I'm kind of interested in what the facts are on that one. Did that have anything to do with this lady?
No,
The criminal
this was
mischief?
a different woman.
What? A different woman? But these letters, I get them all the time from women who are battered women from the relationship. And, you know, I don't know why they stay in the relationship, but they shouldn't be punished for that, for trying to make something work. There's no crime for trying to stay in a relationship because they would like it to work, especially as their common child between both of you. Yeah. In spite of you and your criminal actions, I'm not surprised that they're trying to salvage a family. You, on the other hand, are working vigorously to dissolve a family.
Mhm. I just had the indictment.
Let me see it.
You want the PC?
Yeah.
I'm printing out the indictment, but
Let's see. Destroy an automobile by jumping on and kicking said car, throwing an unknown object at said car without the consent of Carolyn Evans, the owner of the vehicle. Another woman is a complainant. Another girl. And it's a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship. You just don't know the meaning of love, do you? No, you don't. It has nothing to do with violence. But this is the third female that you are in a relationship with that you've assaulted or was involved in assaulting your property. You observe the defendant exit his vehicle, go to the apartment. He was yelling, beating on the door, damaged the property that was on the porch. Then you were witness to go to the car, cause over $2,000 worth of damage. Then get in your black Chevy Camaro and not stand around and try to explain or fix the mess or wait for the police, but you fled. You fled. All right, that's